Well, good evening, pharmacy aficionados. Welcome back to www.salesystem.com.au. My name's Glenn Guilfoyle and I head up the specialist pharmacy group called The Next Level, and we come to you each month like this in both written and video form with some message, some point, some topic, some issue to help you and your teams debate over the advancement and progress of your forward pharmacy services model. And this week I'd like to visit the old chestnut of open versus closed questions when engaging with your health customers. A recent AJP Daily article posed the question, what error makes up 10% of incidents reported to PDL? Advice offered in this article includes open questions as opposed to closed should always be used and are designed to draw information from the consumer. Unfortunately, this is poor advice and should not be heeded. Sadly, the critical questioning skill of knowing when and how to use open versus closed questions is incredibly simple, yet so often mistaught and misunderstood. Therefore, poorly utilised in the conversations with health customers at the dispensary. Also, sadly, it's not hard to understand why this occurs. A cursory glimpse into teachings for pharmacists and their teams often provides obvious explanations. For example, in the same article, the author writes, and I quote, "Examples of open-ended questions include, please state your address," or "May I see your Medicare card, please?" or "Can you tell me what you are using the medication for?" All three incorrect examples here provides insight into why pharmacy staff so often struggle to execute this simple but powerful engagement skill. Let's delve a little to explore how these scenarios can highlight correct versus incorrect application of this conversation skill. Indulge me to provide typical hypothetical answers. Please state your address. Okay, number XYZ Main Street, Suburbia. This is a short, sharp, factual answer to a question calling for such a response. This is a closed question and answer, not open, because of the nature of the short, sharp, factual piece of information called for. Next one. May I see your Medicare card, please? Answer, yes. This is a classic yes-no response, closed question. Third, can you tell me what you're using the medication for? Answer, yes, headache. Again, this is a closed question and answer, not open, because of the nature of a short, sharp, factual piece of information called for. Some people think that a closed question is limited to a yes or no response. This is not true. A closed question calls for a short, sharp, factual response, which may or may not be yes versus no. The other common misunderstanding is that open questions are better than closed. Again, the PDL article in question is a great case in point. Quote, open questions as opposed to closed should always be used. Again, not true. The skill of open versus closed questions is knowing when to ask open versus closed. Open questions are great when you want your patient to speak freely, describe their symptoms, conditions, or implications thereof. The great skill is using a combination of both at the right times to control the conversation and give the patient a great consultation experience. Honing this skill is partly around following a few simple rules. Some is closer to art and is around reading the tea leaves. This is just an expression that means reading the disposition of the patient and how that changes throughout the conversation and adapting accordingly with the judicious use of open versus closed skills. Now, this is not just my opinion. The best research ever conducted into engagement conversations and the use of open versus closed skills was conducted in the late 80s by the Huthwaite Group. It spawned the seminal piece we now know as spin selling. As evidence-based people in retail pharmacy, I exhort all pharmacists and pharmacy assistants engaging with customers at the dispensary counter to read Spin Selling and gain the insights and the skills, the confidence and the competence offered in this seminal piece. I hope you found this of some use and can put it to value with your team, and we invite you back again next month for another piece to cogitate over in the never-ending pursuit of your forward pharmacy services model. Bye for now.